Good day, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. So let's dive right in because I have quite a bit of news to get through in this Thanksgiving Eve, as though I will not be broadcasting tomorrow in view of Thanksgiving. Now, the aftermath of the 2024 elections have concluded, leaving a transformed political landscape. The Republican Party has secured control of both the House and the Senate alongside their presidency under Donald Trump. This consolidation of power marks a pivotal shift in our governance structure. Now, in the House, Republicans clinch a majority with key victories in districts across Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan, and notably, Representative Juan Ciscominini wins in Arizona's 5th district was instrumental in tipping the balance. Do you guys want to look at some of the statistics of the results? We're going to have those results right here for you guys. Representative Juan and other newly elected Republican representatives, the Senate now stands at 53 to 47 split in favor of the Republicans, with Senator John Thune stepping in as the new majority leader, succeeding Mitch McConnell. Now, this shift raises questions about the legislative agenda moving forward, particularly concerning healthcare, immigration, and economic policies. With the GOP holding all three levers of power, we can anticipate significant policy shifts. For instance, discussions are already underway about revisiting the Affordable Care Act, with potential repeals or replacements on the horizon. Additionally, immigration policies are expected to tighten, reflecting the administration's America First stance. Legal proceedings and political implications of Donald Trump. Now, we're going to just go down a timeline. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the different timelines of things that occurred during his adjudication of all the charges. Now, here's this kind of a roll-up: 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information, 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice, 1 count of withholding a document or record, 1 count of corruptly concealing document or record, 1 count of concealing a document in a federal investigation, 1 count of scheme to conceal, and 1 count of making false statements and representation. At least 4 of the charges carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. Now, I stated this a couple of months ago that I do not believe any U.S. president will ever be incarcerated, let alone be locked up for some of the potential alleged or even crimes they have committed. Now, they have some of the evidence here in May 2021. I know it's kind of blurry on you guys' screen. Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor, a large club, to clean out so that it can be used to store, which seems to be documents to the storage room, could be reached from multiple outside. And they just have multiple pictures of different classified documents that supposedly Trump allegedly was storing illegally. And they also have a timeline of different dates. Trump appears in federal court June 13th, then June 19th. Federal magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt issues a protective order that lays out a series of restrictions regarding the evidence that Justice Department collected during this investigation. June 20th, Cannon issues an order setting a trial date in the case. June 21st, federal prosecutors working with Smith tell the court that the government has turned over a Trump first batch of unclassified evidence, and there's some information therein. June 23rd, the Justice Department requests Trump's trial be moved from mid-August to December 11th. June 26th, Cannon denies the special court's request for the list of 84 witnesses to be filed under seal. Now, did you notice there's a very lengthy things that have been occurring that here at CBS News, they have already outlined that you guys can go reference for yourselves. But I think here, in a surprising turn of events, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan dismissed the January 6 charges against President-elect Donald Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith filed a motion to dismiss citing the Department of Justice stance against indicting a sitting president. Now, all of these have essentially given Trump immunity to the alleged crimes and allegation, and those that he's actually been charged with, that people stated that he was convicted of. Trump, who faced multiple charges, including conspiracy and obstruction, labeled the prosecutions as politically motivated. This dismissal not only clears a significant legal hurdle for Trump, but also sets a precedent regarding the legal boundaries of prosecuting a sitting president. Now, this development sparked debates about the impartiality of our judicial system and the influence of political power on legal outcomes. Critics argue that such dismissals could undermine public trust in the justice system altogether, while supporters view it as a reinforcement of constitutional protections. State level Now, I think we should change our focus here to state news, because this is very imperative and this is quite remarkable. I think we should shift our focus to state news, because when we look at the different counties within in the area of Dallas and the suburbs, Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson made headlines by switching from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. After over a decade as a Democrat, Johnson's move reflects border political realignments, especially significant ahead of the 2024 elections. Now, if you guys are not familiar how Johnson looks, here are some pictures of him. Johnson's switch makes Dallas the largest U.S. city with a Republican mayor, aligning him with Fort Worth Mayor Matty Parker. He credits former President Donald Trump for reshaping the political landscape and attracting minority groups, contributing to a notable Republican victory in 2024. Now, this move underscores the evolving dynamics within urban politics, where traditional party lines are becoming increasingly fluid. Johnson advocates for Republican investment in urban areas, promoting law enforcement funding, lower taxes, and economic growth. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a pivotal case challenging Tennessee's ban on gender dysphoria treatments for minorities. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a pivotal case challenging Tennessee's ban on gender dysphoria treatment. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a pivotal case challenging Tennessee's ban on. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear a pivotal case challenging Tennessee's ban on gender dysphoria treatments for minors. Dr. Susie Lacey, a gynecologist from Memphis, is among the plaintiffs, arguing that the law discriminates based on sex and transgender status, violating the 14th Amendment. Green leaders Rosalie Woodruff highlighted this as a significant step towards greater accountability in political funding. However, Attorney General Guy Barnett argued that the bill would create unnecessary administrative burdens and potentially discourage political donations. Now, Dr. Susie Lacey, supporters of the law, claim it protects minors from irreversible decisions, citing uncertainties about the treatment's long-term effects. This case has significant implications for transgender rights among ongoing culture wars. Now, the court's conservative majority has shifted American law rightward on other issues, but protected its transgender rights in a 2020 ruling. The outcome of this case could redefine the legal landscape for transgender health care in the United States. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of the ongoing feud between Elon Musk and one of Trump's key allies, because Elon Musk, a significant figure in Donald Trump's recent election campaign, has clashed with key Trump ally Boris Epstein. During the transition phase, Musk, who contributed $119 million to Trump's campaign, has faced growing tensions within Trump's team. Now, Musk and Epstein had a public altercation and accusations of leaks and favoritism and cabinet picks, specifically regarding Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz. Despite the controversy, Epstein maintains his role, while Musk's influence remains under scrutiny. This power struggle with Trump transition team reflects broader uncertainties about the influence of key players in the upcoming administration. Now, Trump proposed these very vast and large tariffs on Mexico and Canada. So President-elect Donald Trump announced plans to impose 25% tariffs on all products from Mexico and Canada starting January 20th of 2025. This led to a surge in the US dollar while weakening the Mexican peso and the Canadian dollar. Trump claimed the tariffs would remain until the flow of drugs, particularly fentanyl and illegal immigrants into the U.S. stopped. Economists warned that these tariffs could drive inflation and result in job loss in the U.S. Now, if we look at some of the current rates here of the U.S. compared to our other European powers, it is fluctuating on the uptick. So we do see a significant change in the U.S. currency because of these proposed alleged tariff hikes when it comes to Mexico, China, and Canada. And we understand that Donald Trump will impose an additional 10% that will raise China tariffs to around 35%. So this is very significant because CNN kind of did this mind map or this journey map to show people how the Trump tariff tax will affect the end product when you go and try to purchase a product. Now, additionally, measures from the affected countries could further impact the U.S. economy. Trump's policies recall his first-term trade tensions and suggest a rocky start to his upcoming administration. So a lot of these are absolutely significant. A lot of this information is absolutely significant because being the consumer and not on the forefront of creating and signing legislation, this will affect who? The American people the most. So it's stated here that foreign manufacturers produces goods to be sold in the U.S. and most likely from other countries, aka China and Mexico. Shoes are shipped to the U.S. where they will face a tariff, a 20% tariff to 25% tariff. If they're not China, then we're looking around 30 to 35%. Companies based in the U.S. pay the tariff to the U.S. Treasury. And it's stated here that the U.S. Sneakers, an American company that purchased from Worldwide Shoes, where we get majority of our shoes made probably in China, Taiwan, etc., pays for the total cost of the imported shoes plus the tariff. $100 pair of shoes now costs U.S. Sneakers $120. And what's significant about that is that that doesn't even include the tax that you pay when you are purchasing those shoes. Now, the U.S. company has a few options to make up for this increased cost. One, the company eats the cost on the tariff. I doubt it. Company passes along some of the cost of the tariff to the buyer, most likely. Company passes along the cost of tariff to the buyer, the entire amount of the $20 makeup. So now a $100 pair of shoes will be a $120 pair of shoes before taxes. And this is how this works. The American consumer pays a higher price. Now, this is only proposed and a projection of what CNN stated. You can absolutely take that with a grain of salt. Last but not least, communities across the United States are increasingly debating the practice of adding fluoride to drinking water. Now, we know RFK Jr. is absolutely against this. He's proposing legislation that will eradicate fluoride because they believe that it's poison in our water. Now, this follows a recent federal judge ruling that compels U.S. regulators to evaluate the potential risk of fluoride causing lower IQs in children. Towns like Yorktown, New York, have halted water fluoridation, citing safety concern. Proponents, including prominent health organizations, continue to support fluoridation based on its recognized dental health benefits. The issue remains contentious, reflected in heated public meetings in towns such as Durango, Colorado, and Monroe, Wisconsin, where community opinions are deeply divided. Now, as we navigate these complex political landscapes, it's crucial to stay informed and engaged. The decisions made today will shape our nation's future. So I thank you for joining me this morning. Stay tuned for more in-depth analysis and discussions. Hit the subscribe button and the like button on your way out. Happy Thanksgiving.